This video would not be possible without Neem Karoli Baba. He was a holy man, an Indian saint, which was given this name by the locals of the village Neem Karoli. Baba roughly translates to father, and he was given this name after performing some miracles there. It's hard to find the stories of this man. There's not too much information about him. However, you can find his devotees, his disciples, sharing their experiences of him, with him. Some of his famous are Baba Ram Das, but this story is told by a musician named Krishna Das. And in this, he explains how a Canadian man approached Baba, asking a question on, how do I meditate? And the answer, well, I'll just let you watch it for yourself.
So this Canadian guy shows up one day, and he's here. I always tell this story wrong, but hell with it, I'm gonna tell it anyway. It was Raghu, he showed up, and he didn't know the way Maharaji is. So when Maharaji said to him, what do you want? Why did you come? He thought he should give like a spiritual answer, So he said, could you teach me how to meditate? He never talked about that stuff. He talked about your families, what's going on in your family, who's this, who's that, and that. But he never talked about those kind of things like that. So he just said to Raghu, go in the back with the other crazy people, the Westerners. Go on, get out. And as he's walking away, he says, just meditate like Christ. Go on. So he came to the back of the temple where we were hanging out. We were kind of debriefing, Where you're from, what did Maharaji say to you? He said to meditate like Christ. Jesus. But then we thought about it, And if he said that, then he must know it. He must know how Jesus meditated. So later on, he came into the back of the temple to hang out with us. And Ram Das said to him, Baba, you said we should meditate like Christ. How did he meditate? So, it seemed like he was about to say something, but instead he just stopped, and his eyes closed, and he sat in front of us, completely still, so still that it felt like the whole world had stopped turning. And after a couple of minutes, 2 tears came down his cheek. And then he opened his eyes, he looked at us and he said, he lost himself in love. He lost himself in love. That's how he meditated. He lost himself in love. He's one with all beings. He never died. No one understands. He lost himself in love.
Ta-da! Oh, you're kind of messy. Okay, my friends. So to say that it has been an easy past 24 hours would be an absolute lie. I'm going to show you my room. My room was tip-top, clean, tidy shape 24 hours ago. And look what it has turned into. Right there. Let's see if you can see that. That is my unfolded laundry. Right there is a messy counter space. My bed, which I completely half-butt before trying to get into the shower to take a bath and calm myself. My desk, messy. And my bathroom itself, just what the heck. I have been depriving myself of love and peace lately, and I was even realizing this way stronger yesterday when all I was craving was food, juices. I was trying to give myself hydration to relax, and when I would go eat, I have been practicing conscious eating, where I sit and close my eyes throughout the whole meal and take small bites, and it allows me to be aware of my mental and emotional states while also being aware of what the food is doing to me. I realized that I really didn't want to drink, I didn't want to eat, I didn't want anything. I just wanted my mind to stop going at 1,000,000,000 miles per hour. But did I listen? No, because I felt like it wasn't important enough. And so you could see how all my steps are, how my next steps, my decisions are just illogical, they're irrational when it comes to wanting love. And the reason for that is because I'm not surrendering my awareness to love. I'm not giving my will to love. And so the first time I heard giving my will to something, that scared me. And so if that worried anyone here of, I don't want to give my will to love, I want my own will, I want to make my own decisions. Whenever you embody any emotion, boredom, happiness, depression, anger, your will is lost until you become aware of what is going on. Because when you become attached, the next logical step stems from where you are at emotionally. So if you see someone in front of you that is a friend and you're in a state of love, the next logical step would be to give them a compliment, to give them a hug, to ask about their day, to see how they're doing, and see how you can give your love and fill their cup. If you're in a place of anger, the next step in front of your friend might be to just start venting, might just be to maybe project onto them, to hurt their feelings a little bit because you don't feel well and you don't want to hold this feeling anymore. If you come from a place of boredom, it might simply be to just not talk to them and to just sit in your thought and try and stimulate yourself. The next logical step stems from where you're at emotionally. And so Jesus giving himself, losing himself to love, means he lost his desires to love. He gave his awareness to love. He gave his whole being to love. So everything that came from him stemmed from love. And when you live in that state of being, you're in heaven. The kingdom of heaven dwells within you. And I needed it. I needed to hear that because that's all I really want. Like, I've just been wrong with my awareness in the past few days. I've been putting it in places which I haven't in years, and it's knocking back memories and my actions, everything. I've reached levels of stress which I haven't touched in almost 2 years. And I started listening to music, which I hadn't listened to in 2 years. I started thinking and doing and almost acting in ways which I remember acting in when I was in that level of stress 2 years ago. And the only thing I wanted back then was peace and love and stability. And so I found that, but then I lost it. The foundation was doing great with me, but I lost my daily practice with it. And I tried to put myself back, but I dropped the most fundamental thing, which was have inner peace. I just didn't have inner peace. And when I don't have inner peace, I don't think rationally to the best that I can. And so this, in my opinion, pairs so well with the practices that I have to give your awareness to love, to lose yourself to love. And I don't expect this to be like a cliff drop, like the second I give my awareness to love, I'm just immediately in a sea of heaven. I expect this to be a slow process, but I believe it's going to be a good one. And so I want to document today about these decisions, what I do, and just what I learned. But this isn't going to be a single day thing. This is going to be something that I stick with and something that I hold on to. And after some thinking last night with where permanent peace is going to go, I'm just excited to see how this pairs with it, because I think it'll help a lot. So with that, I'm going to begin the day. I love doing that. I think we can stop recording now. Ta-da! Finished the meditation. Yeah, I meditated after cleaning my room, because cleaning the room, cleaning where you meditate, is so darn important. If you try to meditate in a room where you have the thoughts of, I need to clean, I need to put this away, I need to do this, need to do that, and you're setting that aside for meditation, all it's going to do is make it harder for you to actually sink in to a peace, because you already have disturbances set out for you. You already have obstacles set out for you. So clean up your room before you meditate. Big, big, big. But losing myself in love, what I was doing was I was turning my attention to that which feels better. That's kind of how I've interpreted this whole thing, is make every decision be something that feels better than where you're at right now. And the slower I move mentally, emotionally, physically, the easier it is to determine whether what direction I'm moving in is actually going to make me feel better or worse. And so in this meditation, after I reduced a lot of the physical, emotional, mental noise just through the foundation breathing and all that stuff, I eventually got to a point where every decision was a very, very subtle difference, because I felt like I was at the seed form of all of the outcomes that could happen. And what I mean by that is, just by doing something that feels a little bit stressful, I would end up in a place that would become extremely stressful. If I would do something that would feel a little bit good, I would end up in a place that felt very, very good. But as I said, these were seeds. They were extremely subtle. So what I would do is I would move my awareness in a direction slightly, and then I would see the whole situation play out in front of me and where I would end up, and then from there I would come back. And I just did that a bunch of times, just saw a plethora of different outcomes. But in the middle of all that was nothingness. This stillness that when I would hold myself there, I would lose sense of time, I would lose sense of my body, I would lose sense of where I'm at, I would lose sense of surroundings, I would lose sense of my name, I would lose sense of my room, I would lose sense of everything, and I would just start to disappear in here. And it wasn't bad, it was just so relaxing, so peaceful, that everything else eventually became a disturbance. I was trying to actually make myself become stimulated, almost like feel like I'm on a high of happiness, but all that did was create a less than enjoyable disturbance relative to this peace which I had found, this stillness which I had found, which I'm convinced is the entrance of where Jesus lost himself. Because as I started to write, I was holding myself there, and it was actually more disturbing to write than it was to just hold myself in that spot. And even speaking right now, I'm trying to hold myself there. And it's awesome. It's really, really cool, because with this stillness, it allows me to keep my awareness on that level where I can tell everything in its seed form of where it's going to go. And the benefit of this is, once you are already like full-fledged out there, this thing is super happy, this thing is super stressful, it's, in my opinion, a little bit harder to tell what is going to make yourself feel good or not feel good, because your awareness is so joggled up in this earthquake of emotion that you don't necessarily have anything to hold on to. So with that, I'm going to just kind of balance out myself. I'm going to eat a little bit, and I'm probably going to go on a walk. When I go out on a walk, I expect myself to record where I go, and hopefully something else cool can happen. Which, before I leave, exercising, like physically tiring out the body, will tire out the mind, and it makes meditation so much more conducive for peace if you approach it right. So with that, now I'm gonna go. See you guys soon. I'm so excited. I just broke the laws of astral projection. Well, my law of astral projection, which is that you're not able to astral project until you finish eating, which I just broke. Because I had some melon, I had some juice, and then I was like, ooh, look at me. But I didn't really get out of my body. This time it was to work out a lot of stuff. I didn't tell you guys a while ago, but I was working on astral projection, and when I got out, there was this pressure on my back. It felt like something was pushing on my back, and voices. It was like a choir of people talking and saying different sentences behind me, and it would go away and come closer. So I actually got kind of scared to do it, since that, because it was really not that fun. But I had a lot of time after doing that last recording, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna nap, then I'm gonna go outside. But then I was like, I think I could astral project. I think I could work on some stuff. And so I started to see through my eyelids, and I was like, oh, here we go. And it was so interesting this time, because it was like a way to peek into different dimensions, which I've heard of that technique. And I thought this would be a way to go about it. But what happened is I stopped paying so much attention to the visual aspect of it, but there was just so many sounds going on all the time. Like, I was aware of what was going on here, I was aware of what was going on somewhere else, I was aware of what was going on in all these different places. And it sounded like layers, but like there was layers to it, but there was also like circular at the same time. It was very, if that makes any sense. So I was going through the different layers of sound, and then hearing to my left and my right and all that stuff. And eventually I started to peek inside of a kitchen, and I was watching these people cook, and they could see me, which was weird, because I was like in spots that I wasn't supposed to be, and they were like, hey, like, go away. And then I'd come back and be like, what are you doing? And then I'd disappear. But yeah, it was just really fun. Like, I'd gotten scared, so I overcame that, and I was just really happy. And I did it using the foundation technique. I'm going to teach you guys how to astral project using the foundation. That's my big master plan that I just spoiled. Did I spoil it? Nah, it's a trailer. Look at, I'm so happy. I'm good. So I'm gonna end this, and then hopefully the next videos are me outside. All right, see you guys soon. Melon. Dude, that was a success. That was definitely a success. I feel so much better than when I started. Or actually true. So I just want to make it clear that I don't believe that meditation is a sit down, act, breathe, focus. Meditation is a state of being, an effortless focus. Concentration is the act of putting the focus on something. Meditation is when that focus becomes effortless. So when I heard that Jesus lost himself in love, and that was his meditation, the way I understood it was that he was always effortlessly focused on love, and every action stemmed from that. And today I did my best to embody that, and I feel like I did. I just went on a walk to go see the sunset. I started up with conversations with my coworkers and just got everyone involved on a little group prank. I'm eating watermelon. I started conversations and set up plans for dinner next week. I have a trip coming up to Denver soon, and I'm getting ready to plan out that. I'm just doing things that feel good, and it's just a self-propelling momentum, a self-propelling engine of excitement, and I love it. And I got back into astral projection, which I was honestly kind of scared of. As I said, it was spooky what happened. And I'm even thinking about maybe documenting the things that happen a little bit more, because it gave me so much life when I did that. The only reason I don't like to do it too much is because then everyone starts seeing me as just that. That's all I do. And I get bored when all my questions and everything just becomes that. You know, there's no diversity in my channel. So we'll see what I do. But I just feel like there's potential and there's opportunity there. I don't feel this weight on my shoulders, this pain in my heart anymore. I feel light. And so I'm very, very happy with how today turned out. And same thing tomorrow, baby. Let's just keep doing it. Why not? The man himself did it. Why don't we? With that, thank you guys for watching, and hope you guys learned a little thing or two and maybe embark on the journey yourself. I will see you guys soon. Peace.